Hello, is it this podcast you're looking for? I hope so. This is HowDoWeHuman. This is the podcast where we talk about all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm Chris Binning.
And I'm Evan Cox.
And today we are going to be talking all about hair.
Hair.
And with every episode so far, we have brought in a expert, or an expert, if you're going to correct my grammar.
I wasn't.
And thank you.
Don't put that on yourself.
And we've got another one today.
Yay!
Please welcome Katie Elsaesser.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, so great.
You did that really well, by the way.
Thank you.
My last name's hard, so.
Not many people compliment me on my intros.
Oh, okay.
And so it's very refreshing. You're more than welcome to every episode we record from now on. Just be here for the intro.
Okay. You did a really good job, buddy.
Me, and then you can leave. Yeah.
It was like if it had been my turn to do the intro.
Oh no, we got some jealousy
I
going
think I
on.
would have gotten compliments too, but
You would have.
Oh,
Way to just
fuck.
fuck up the mic. Talk about a micro moment. Don't spit take.
I like a good pun, and a micro moment made me laugh.
Oh, Evan, how you doing?
Oh, good. Yeah. By good, I mean I'm frazzled because I woke up and my fridge is broken.
Oh my god.
I told you guys a little bit about that already.
Then tell the audience. Don't tell us.
Yeah. Did you not hear our genuine reactions?
I did hear your genuine reaction.
I
and
actually responded to it.
then
Like
I
I had
pulled the rug under from it.
Yes, pull it.
I'm not even going to tell that. I don't know why I mentioned it.
Well, so
Hey.
here's the thing. He woke up and he smelled an electric smell.
Yeah.
And then the thing
on the back was hot.
It's a compressor? Yeah.
Wow, that's more than I know about a refrigerator.
I've learned a lot because it's a bad refrigerator.
What do you think it is? What do you think happened?
Genuinely not a clue. Something electrical was what it smelled like.
Did you unplug it? Is it unplugged?
Oh, it's unplugged.
Okay.
All the food is in a little cooler with some ice. Not by all the food, I mean like 10% of the food that was in
just
there.
like the chunky milk now.
Just the chunky milk. That's what I'm going to live off of the next week.
Do you like chunky milk or creamy milk?
Oh God.
You know what? Let's talk about that fucking Super Bowl commercial with the chunky milk. Did you guys see that?
No.
It was
No.
the grossest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm sick of gross commercials. It was for some like financial company, and it just showed this family like pouring chunked up milk into a bowl, and it made me want to vomit. And I'm like, get that off. Get the Skittles commercial where people are eating diseases off each other's faces.
Oh,
Get
you know
those
what?
commercials
That was
out.
almost me. I'm not lying to you. I auditioned
You were up
for
for that?
I was up for that. I got a
Are
call
you
back.
serious?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding you. That was almost me.
That's hysterical.
But I asked the kid in the audition how old he was because he was very young, and I had to be very close to his face. And apparently, you're not supposed to do that. And like the entire like producer section was just like, oh no, and like was very quickly ushered out.
What?
Yeah, I was very close to getting. I was like, and every time I see that commercial, I get pissed.
Yeah.
Well, sure, because I mean, that's been running for years.
So long.
Years. Anyway,
Yeah.
chunky milk.
Wow.
Chunky milk. That's what I've got going on right now.
You were ramping up for another story.
I was going to tell
Yeah.
a different story. Something more important to me right now, which is the Monopoly coupons at Vaughn's.
Have you actually played that game?
I do. I play it every year.
Okay.
It's
Have you won
very
anything?
important to me. Here's the thing. People left and right are turning down those little coupons. Like, they're coupons. They are.
Yeah,
There's free shit in there. If you look behind us, that entire table is covered
Oh my
in
god,
them.
it is.
Oh.
That is covered.
Like, not all of them, but at least half of those are like free things. They're giving you free things. Take them.
You know,
There's free donuts. There's free tinfoil. Stuff I'm going to buy anyways.
the Vons on Laurel Canyon in the valley, they gave me like 2 big packets of that because they were like, here, just take
Yeah.
them. We don't want them.
So that's what's happening right now is they're getting rid of them because the last day to give them out was a couple of days ago. We're dating this podcast. Everyone knows what that date was. This is awkward.
Dang it.
But I was at the Vons near my place here, and
Go ahead and say that address.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 street. You decide where the number ends and the street begins. So I was really jacked up about this because the last time I went, they gave me, like you said, a stack of like 30 of them. And I'm like, I'm going to go through all these. I'm going to get a bunch of free stuff. And I'm excited. And the person in front of me, the cashier was like, would you like are you playing the Monopoly game? He tries to hand her like 30 of them. And she goes, no, I'm not playing. He goes, oh, okay. And he puts them back. I go through. I look, all my receipt. I earned, like, not even like hand them out. I earned 19 of them based on what I bought. And he was gun shy. And he didn't offer them to me. And I am not
Did you
the
demand
person.
them?
I did not demand
You
them.
should
I'm
not
not
demand.
that
You
person.
should pull that privilege.
We've talked about this before. I don't like pulling that. But yeah, it really bummed me out. But I went the next day and got
Tons more.
like 60 more. So I'm good.
Okay.
But yeah, that was really a bummer that because someone else didn't want to play. The cashier just like, I don't know, he got his feelings hurt, got scared, didn't want to be shut down again.
Oh, he didn't want to be denied.
Yeah.
Like the lady denied him.
Yeah, so that's what I've got going on. That's taking up all of my attention right now, and the fridge thing.
Yeah.
Chris, how you doing?
Well, we've had a lot of laughs so far, but it's time to get serious.
Oh God, who died?
I was
Had the Monopoly tickets too.
I was recently accosted at work.
No,
Yes.
by whom?
2 coworkers who were enraged that I am not a Game of Thrones fan.
Oh,
So
well, yeah,
they
that's
cornered me
That
enough
happens.
to it.
and were just aggressively selling me on this show that is
can't do that.
probably going to be over by the time this episode comes out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably. Yeah.
Like it'll be like 10 weeks ago would have been the finale.
Boy, we're all sorts of current topics today so
Hell
far.
yeah.
I do love the idea of like Game of Thrones bullies just like cornering
Yes.
you like West Side Story style, just do.
Yeah, they were so mad that I do not watch the show. I've seen 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, all from the first season.
Oh God, the good ones.
But not. I've seen like episode 1,
Oh God.
episode 3, and maybe like episode 6.
Okay, so the sibling fucking, the brothel, Titty
Yeah.
McGee's, and probably some excessive killing.
Probably.
Probably.
But most of the time I was like, who are these people? What are we doing?
Why do I care?
Yeah. So that's why I never got on board with it. But they were really, really enraged and would not take any sort of reasoning as to why I do not watch the
The
show.
thing with that is like I think it's not a good thing. Like people don't understand that accosting someone like that,
Right.
you're never going to watch it
Right.
now,
No,
just out of spite.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like
Right?
I'm a big Game of Thrones
Hey,
fan, but
me too.
I get it. Like if you don't want to watch it, like
That's
Yeah.
why you and I are better than Chris.
exactly. We
And
are
I'll
better-
take
Well,
that.
his coworkers. But yeah, if you don't want to watch a thing, like why would you? I feel like nerd like culture has become very aggressive.
It's gotten bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, you don't know the specifics about this one thing? You're not into it. I'm like, yeah, okay.
That's okay. There's something about like I don't know if it's getting older, but you just reach a point where you're like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I'm very fine not knowing things.
Chris, I feel like you're that kind of person that is constantly like, okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
We've
well,
learned anything on this podcast is Chris is in a constant state of okay.
That's true. And I didn't accost them when they were like, well, I don't watch Barry. Like, no.
Oh, Barry.
I could get fired up about Barry and
Okay.
sell you Barry, but if you don't want to watch it, okay, then you're not going to. Or maybe at some point you'll be like, you know what? At one point he did say he watches it and likes it. Maybe I'll try it. But he never cornered me and was like, you have to watch it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
Katie?
Hey.
I don't know why I responded to that.
Yes.
Me?
It's me, Katie. Just doing a Doubtfire voice.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I recently got a new job, and it's good. It's been a little frustrating, but I had a boss approach me about what I wear, but like not in like a "you're too slutty," because that's never been me.
You're too professional.
I'm too no. It's like that she wants me to have a new look. Yeah, it was. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Maybe you should go to Nordstrom," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And like, we're doing like a YouTube channel thing, so like, you know, all the kids dress in Nordstrom. I don't know, like I think she wants me to look different than another person with this company, so I'm like, okay, fine. But the entire weekend I was just like, oh, I need a new look. I look like a piece of shit. And I was walking over to my boyfriend's house, and I was just kind of stomping along because I was just like, I'm so upset about this. And this one guy stops me. He's like, "Excuse me." I was like, "What now?" And he's like, "I really love your boots." And like walked off. And I was like, and I started crying. I was like, "Oh, that's the nicest thing someone said to me today." And then my boy was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm fine." It's not a big deal. So that was a nice moment. It's like, humanity's good.
Like I've never.
You've never been approached about your look?
I've always worked on the backs, you know, the behind the camera side of all these things, and yeah, no one's ever dared to dress differently. Like that's such a bummer. Like that feels insane.
It is. It does. It feels insane. They also like haven't hired any hair, makeup, or costume designers, and so and we weren't hired for that. We were just hired to be writers and performers, and yeah, it was like, where the fuck did you come from? I hope she listens to this. I hope that she's like, fired. Fine. Yeah, so that was a nice little moment where I cried on the side of the walk because somebody complimented my boots.
That's a good cry, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, everyone says you need a good cry every now and then.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I think people will say that meaning like, oh, I got sad about something and cried. But it's like, no, a good cry.
A good cry.
Yeah.
Is different. Like, pretty specifically a compliment cry, or just something really nice that just hits you like, oh god,
it's like someone
the world is good.
They take their compliment and they just touch you right where you're very sensitive. And you're like, oh, everything breaks.
Oh my god, that's a good cry.
Yes, that is a good cry. It's way better than like a rom-com cry or something.
Evan,
you know what I mean, guys?
I do know what you mean.
Absolutely.
Evan, when's the last time you got a good compliment cry in?
I know the answer, but didn't want to say it. It was genuine. Not a full cry. I'd have to think harder about like a full cry, but like a small tear in the eye was what I was just telling you about. Was at that class improv show recently where our coach made us do the warm up where you just compliment each other.
Oh my god,
so,
that gets real.
Yeah. Me and another guy were complimenting each other, and you're for people who don't do improv or know how this works, like you're not allowed to say anything. You just stand there and make eye contact with the person, and they just say nice things about your improv, which is, I think, a sensitive spot for any improviser.
Yeah, any comedian.
Yeah. So that gets intense. That got me. But that was a good single tear that didn't drop. I think that still counts as a cry.
Do you remember specifically what it was?
What they said?
Yes.
No. I honestly don't know that I heard. I honestly don't know that I heard any of it. I think I blacked out because it is so uncomfortable.
I do get that, yeah.
But like just the vibe of just like very focused, nice things. Like people don't do that in life.
No.
Nobody takes the attention to just be like, I'm going to compliment you for
who you are
60 seconds straight and make sure you heard me. It's a good time. You? Right back at you, huh?
Right back at you, buddy.
What do you got?
Well, probably like 10 minutes ago when Katie was like, that was a good job.
Oh, no.
No.
Sorry.
I don't remember.
That is true. We were recording with our backs turned to you.
That's right.
Notice.
Come on my podcast. Make me cry.
No, I don't remember the last time I got a good compliment cry. Not that I don't get compliments, but I think this comes back to my general demeanor of like, oh, okay. I cry more in movies than in.
I'm a wreck at movies.
Yeah, me too. It's like
What's the last movie you cried in?
Full cry or like just had like
Yes,
tears.
both.
Easy one.
I don't remember. I'll think about full cry. I definitely Avengers Endgame.
I
was
there were a
gonna
couple
say.
of
Did we
moments.
not all?
I wept throughout the
I
movie.
didn't weep.
I didn't
Yeah.
full cry.
wept.
I did not full cry in that movie, but I was. There were for like the last third of it. There's just tears,
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
and only one of them dropped. But
don't have to say
Wow.
what happened. No,
right,
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Just-
Even though this will be
Way
This'll be
beyond
3 months
spoiler
after
country.
the movie's come
Later.
out.
It'll still be in theaters.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
right. No kidding.
Man, when is the last time I had a full cry in a movie?
I ugly cried in Endgame. I was like,
It was rough.
I cried
Not
at
you,
everything.
I
It's
didn't
fine.
see it with
That's
you.
rough.
No, me too. We did an episode about movies. I went and saw that by myself, and
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
didn't
nice.
feel like I was crying alone because
Everybody else
Yeah, you
was.
can hear everybody in the
what
theater.
ends up happening happens in a very quiet, like there's no real music going on,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe there wasn't. I just blacked it out. But like you can hear everybody in the theater sniffling.
Yeah.
not to cut you off, Chris, but the two things happened in my Endgame screening. Like there was one guy whose phone went off at a very inappropriate, inappropriate time. But like it kind of sounded like an inappropriate segue music. Like it was very upbeat, and I was like, that's a choice, and like didn't know. And then during like that very sad part, someone just shouted out at their wife, Sandra, and we were, and we all turned and did the like almost simultaneously. The entire audience just did the one hand like, ugh. Like, what the fuck you doing, bro? Sandra probably went off on that guy afterwards.
Sandy.
I mean, yeah.
We do John Travolta
Yeah, John
impressions.
Travolta.
Sandy. Yeah, maybe it was Johnny T.
Not to make this whole episode about Avengers Endgame, but it was
We're getting there.
one of the few times where I've been in a packed theater where every single person was respectful.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I mean, people, they laughed at the right moments. There were a couple moments where everybody cheered and it was
Yeah.
fine, but nobody was like talking through it. Everybody had their phones off
For 3 hours.
for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I think only like 2 people ever went to take a bathroom break in that packed theater. Like
Nice.
everybody was locked in and appreciated how respectful everyone was being.
That's so great. I don't know if you guys we went to the ArcLight and like the guy was like, okay, when you finish this movie, don't say anything when you walk out because people are
Yeah.
coming in. I was like, that's actually
good
really
thing to
cool
say.
that they just said that.
Yeah.
ArcLight's good about that stuff.
They really are, yeah.
But I saw it at the Vista and paid $6.50 for a matinee show.
Nice.
So I win in the end.
Haha, take that, Disney.
Yeah.
Have price tickets.
You know what happened in Endgame? Captain Marvel got a new haircut.
Yeah.
How's that for a
Nice
segue?
segue.
Yes.
Suckers.
That was a good
Beautiful.
segue.
Thank you.
Let's talk all about hair.
Talk about
Talk
some
about
hair.
Who wants to start? I don't even know where to start with hair. It changes
Quite frequently.
over time. I think hair, as both Chris and I are less gifted in the hair growing department.
Yeah, I
these
believe
days.
in a previous episode we say follically challenged.
That's
That's
valid.
amazing.
But so yeah, the hair game has changed from when I was a teenager and had long, luscious,
Locks.
glowing hair, glowingly blonde hair, to now. Yeah, what's your guys' hair story? Let's go back. Let's just start from the beginning. How many episodes do I say? Let's go back. I like going back. Let's go back. What's your first like hair that you remember? Like we all grow up, you just have hair. Your parents do your hair, and then at a certain point, like you're a teenager and you're in charge now. You're running the show.
Yes.
What did you do with your hair?
So what did I do with my hair when I was in charge?
Yeah. You were in the pilot seat.
Yeah. So when I was very young, I had blonde hair.
Okay.
Like super bright blonde, and I think I had it in probably like a bowl cut.
Famous bowl cut.
And then I don't remember what my hair looked like between probably those early years of life. Let's call it first grade. I don't remember what my hair looks like between first grade and like sixth grade.
It's just hair.
It's
just there.
It's
You're
just
not
there.
thinking about it.
Exactly. But then once I was in charge, I grew it out.
Yeah.
Long, and looking back on it, it doesn't look good.
Okay. Good old
But
photos
that
to
is,
remind you.
Yeah, I think probably right around third to fourth grade is when it shifted from blonde to brunette, just naturally.
It's so interesting how that happens sometimes,
Yeah.
where you just go from a totally different hair color. My sister is a strawberry. She's redheaded, but like she's more strawberry blonde, I guess you would say. And like I'm brunette, but now very dyed blonde. And we never looked the same, and so it was always like questioned whether or not we were actually sisters, which is like a fun thing to ask a kid. They're like, "Oh, are you really related?"
Yeah. Which one of you is adopted?
Yeah, exactly. And then like you start to question, and you're the younger sister, and your bigger sister gives you like hints, like maybe you're not part of the family. I mean, whatever. But I mean, my mom she used to give us the bowl cuts too, and so we always had that kind of like mushroom head. Like
It was
yeah.
everybody at that time.
Yeah.
yeah, I
We
mean,
all
it was a
had
good
bowl
way to
cuts.
save money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and like so one time, so my parents split up when I was probably like middle school or something like that, and like I was a freshman in high school, and my sister was a senior, and it was the same apparently high school that Chris went to.
Yeah.
We found this
that's
out.
right.
I forgot that.
DV,
That's crazy.
baby.
Yeah, Desert Vista, back in Arizona.
Thunder.
The Thunder, but our mascot looked like a giant piece of cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very weird. But yeah, so I was a freshman and my sister was a senior, and like she was gonna be off to college like the next year. So my dad, like, I don't think like audibly told us that he was like trying to like save money or like cut back on costs or anything like that, but like and I lived with my dad for most of my life, and so I've always been like very like image conscious, because I was like, I don't know, but dad just said it's fine, wear a flannel. But I was like, oh, my dad's trying to save money. So I decided that I was going to take hair cutting into my own hands.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And at the time, I also, so much backstory. I was being a TA in a theater class that was mostly seniors, and they were all friends with my older sister. And I respected the hell out of them. Yeah. So I was like, I noticed that like my bangs were falling into my eyes, and I was like, well, I don't want to go to the hairdresser just to get my bangs cut, so I'm going to do this myself. And I took a pair of scissors and I went into my bathroom, and I was in there for a while. Like, there was enough time for my sister to be like, are you okay in there? And I was like, I'm fine, it's cool. But like, so I started in, and like I did one cut, and I was like, that looks pretty good. But like, I only did like halfway on one side. And in the mirror, like, it's like a flipped image. So it's like, okay, wait, am I going up or down?
Right.
Like, I'm like, am I left or right? And then like, so I tried to do the other side, but then I was doing the same side. So that side went up even higher. And so like half my bangs were down, and the other half was like a little too cropped up high. And then I was like, it's fine, it's fine. So I just went to the other side, and then, like, it just, like, it kept, like, one side was higher than the other, and the other side was higher than the other. And then it was just, like, there were just these nubs on top of my head, and it was awful. And I was like, no one's gonna notice. And so I went to school, and it was, like, the first class of the day. I go in, and these seniors are just looking at me, and I was like, I'm fine. And then this one girl who I respected, because I was like, oh, she's just like the coolest in school. She was like, hey, did you get a haircut? I was like, yes, I did. I'm like, it looks so good. And I was like, it was one of those where I was like, you're not even trying to like hide that you're making fun of me. And like, then she like went over with her friends and just, they started laughing. And I was like, oh my God. So the next day I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear a bandana over my bangs.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take it off until they grow back. And I
Not even at home by yourself.
no, because I was like, I don't want anybody to know. Like, I don't even think my dad noticed or anything. Because I was just like, I'm just gonna wear a bandana. No one's gonna know.
It's my thing.
It's my thing now. No, and it became my thing. I became I did that for like all 4 years of high school and even a little bit into college. I was just the girl with the bandana, and it was always a red bandana. And then I like got classy and wore bandanas with different colors. And
Whoa.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I wore a bandana to a wedding.
Oh.
A black bandana.
Oh, formal.
Yeah. It's a black tie event.
It's a choice.
To a wedding. Yeah. My friends make fun of me to this day for that. I'm like, that's fair, as you should. So I'm bandana girl.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
When did you ditch the bandana, and what brought you the confidence?
You know, I think it might honestly.
Did it just take 5 years for your bangs to grow back?
Yeah. They just would not grow. And it's just like, come on, guys. That would be hilarious. They're still growing to this day. No, I think it was probably like my sophomore year of college. And like I wasn't getting cast because I was also a freshman in college. I think I don't remember specifically what it was, but they were like, you need to stop wearing those in order to like play these roles. And I was like, but it's comfortable. And I even wore one like in my senior show, and then they're like, can you just cut your hair and like not have a bandana? I was like, yeah, that's fair. Like it was a while before the bandanas completely left my. I looked for one the other day and I couldn't find one. I was like, did I really just like dump all my bandanas?
Burned them.
I think I must have. I must have given them to Goodwill or something like that. But it took a while. And I think it's just like, it's a self-conscious thing when people are like looking at you and like judging your style.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's just like, it's kind of sad to think about, because we were just like, when we're talking about when you are those certain ages and hair is like, you don't even realize you have it. It's like, whatever, it's this thing attached to my head. Mm-hmm. Like, there's something about, like, it's middle school, which again, totally we will have an episode about completely, or like 20 episodes about.
Exactly.
Just like
but
a
there's
full series.
something about that the first day of middle school that's just like, well, my image is very important. Nobody told me.
Yeah.
But I need to do something right now.
I think I'm still waiting to have that moment where my image is very important to me.
Yeah.
As is like
and it is ironic
par for
for
the
me
course
to
for
say.
like my own employment at the moment.
My image is important to me, I say, as I cut my own hair and don't shave my beard and have a stain on my shirt.
I didn't even notice that until
Hey,
now.
I pointed it out. I'm honest.
There you go.
That's your image.
That's your
honest Ev. But yeah. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say. I guess I feel like a lot of like the self-image thing. Like I always picture people like who are like take care of themselves. Like we're just self-image obsessed, and I like never wanted to be that person that was like always doing their hair or like always touching up their makeup. Like, what is it like for guys when you see someone just like grooming all the time?
I don't know. Because I think my mentality has almost always been just like comfort over style.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I guess when I see the people that like go seemingly style over comfort,
Sure.
I mean, maybe it's comfortable. I don't know. But it just seems like,
Why?
Why? Like, who are you doing this for? Because,
Right.
I mean, if you're doing it for yourself, great. If you're doing it for other people, I mean, I guess that's fine, but it's not for me.
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't appreciate it.
Knock it off.
You look fine, but I don't care.
Yes.
It's just okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, okay.
I mean, some people do have like really good style and they pull it off and you're like, good for you. Like,
Right.
you look cool. But anytime I try and like you just can't replicate anybody else's style. And then you just end up being uncomfortable looking.
That is absolutely, yeah, that's a good point. I'll see other people do it and I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I can try that.
Yeah.
And the answer is no, I cannot.
Have you ever been in a store, like a department store, and seen something on the mannequin? You're like, I could pull that off.
Yes.
And then you put it on, and you're like, but it worked on the mannequin.
That's happened to me many times. Well, I think even like I told a story on one of the previous episodes where like I have this shirt where it's purple and there's like a bunch of little bananas on it.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, that looks pretty good. I bet I could pull that off. And in private, and when I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah. I'm kind of pulling this off. When I'm around friends, yeah, pulling this off. When I'm around strangers, nope. This is the wrong choice. It just feels like, oh no, now people are looking at me.
It feels like you're trying to grab attention.
Yes, exactly. And that's never really been my style.
MO, yeah.
It's just, I don't need people to be looking at me.
Right. Which is so funny, especially like when like we're an improv or like any form of entertainment.
Yeah,
and
when
it's
all
like,
three of us are going to be on stage later tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't need people to look at me.
But like, guys, let's just do a bat where we just do it in the dark so no one will look at us. But I mean, like it, which is funny too, because like I mean, it's like the guy who like complimented my boots. Like it does feel good to get the compliments, absolutely. Yeah. But like, then it's like an effort to like get out of the comfort, and I'm trying to find a happy medium between like comfort and like looking okay.
Yeah.
Stylish, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't know. I kind of like, let's get the Queer Eye guys and just like do me up.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
If they're listening, which I know they are.
Yeah.
JVN.
Come on down.
Come on down.
If he just burst in the door right now, I would lose my mind.
How excited.
Like,
I would be so excited.
I'd be like, okay.
What do you think that the Queer Eye guys would do to you first?
I honestly, like,
shame me publicly.
I would love to go through that experience just to know. I would be so curious.
Yeah.
What do you do with this? I feel like I have a limited number of tools. Like, at this point, it's pretty much just, like, clothes I can change.
It's like the four windows. What do you call it? I forget what theory it is. It's like the four windows where it's like things that you know about yourself, and then things that you let other people know about you, and then things that people know about you, and then like the fourth window is like things that people know about you that you don't know, or like see in you but like you don't know. Like that fourth window is the thing that like people can see and like about you, but you have no clue what it is. That's the window that always freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, what do you see?
Mm-hmm. In high school, my senior year, one of my friends, Rebecca, had been like throughout high school, had been like, let me give you a makeover.
Okay.
And for most of it, I was like, nah, we got it. We're just on cruise control at this point.
I'm good.
We figured it out early. Now we're just waiting for death.
Good philosophy.
But in the start of my senior year, I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. Let's do this makeover. And then I remember she and I went shopping together. And she was picking out these different clothes. And as I would try them on, I'd be like, this isn't me though. This is like
an image of someone like me, but not me.
Yeah, exactly. This is like the image of someone cooler than me, but like
and you just didn't feel comfortable.
You can't change the face that's poking out of these clothes. So it doesn't. Sure, but it's not the
poking out of these clothes.
It's not
it's just like a gerbil that's just like in a big shirt.
Yeah, maybe that was what the problem was all the clothes were extra large.
They were meant for like, giant people.
Yeah, but it was one of those things where like I looked in the mirror and I was like, cool, that's exactly what the guy in the photo looks like, but I don't look like that guy. I don't have his same physique or anything, so it doesn't quite look the same. It looks like a costume. I was like, this isn't, you know what?
I'm going to prom as the cool guy.
Yeah.
I always felt that way about hair gel
Yeah.
when I did have more hair. I never used it. Didn't like the stuff. Got put in my hair once by someone else. I was very upset about it.
Was it like after a haircut and they were like, here, do this?
Yeah. Zip, 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 zip. And yeah, same where I'm like, I look at that in the mirror. I'm like, hey, that's a good haircut. It's not my hair, and I'm gonna wash this out.
Oh no.
Yeah. Do you guys ever go just crazy with the product?
I had hair gel in high school, I think, because the freshman year of high school for speech and debate, I had cut my long hair because you had to look more presentable.
Did they have like military standards for like you to enter
No,
the dance or something?
Yeah. It was like the beginning of Full Metal Jacket, and they would bring us all in.
They beat you with a soap.
Yeah, they just wanted you to look more like business.
Casual.
Not business casual, because you would wear a suit to the tournaments.
Okay.
But you were just supposed to look a little more professional.
Got it.
And so I cut my hair and had like kind of the Jon Stewart like part in the middle that comes
Sure.
over. And so I had gel in that.
Okay.
And then in college, I switched from gel to pomade.
Okay.
And pomade much better than gel.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference between pomade and gel because
Gel
I don't.
like hardens and like pomade gets it's softer.
Yeah,
right?
it's softer.
It
but
holds
it's
the look, but it's
Yeah.
more natural looking.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everybody use pomade?
Well, I mean, that's the big thing is that like, or at least that's what's in vogue. I remember when I was in middle school, it was all about the mousse.
Oh,
And just like handful.
the antlers and the
Yeah, it just like
And the little cup of chocolate.
right.
yes, yeah, exactly that kind of mousse.
All these mousses.
It was all about all the kinds of mousse.
All the mises.
All the mises.
But it was just like you would like fill your hand up with this just like what looked like whipped cream, and you'd put it in your hair, and it would just like dry in like this crunchy, gross like fashion. It was like having like a gel or something like that. But I don't know. It smelled really good though. I loved that smell. But if like I mean I grew up in Arizona as did Chris, where like that stuff just melted.
Yeah.
Right out of your hair. It was so gross. You just look like greasy pieces of shit. Did that ever happen with gel with you guys? Like, did it ever like melt out of your hair and like down the sides of your neck?
Not the one time it was put in my hair.
Yeah.
It never happened.
No.
No. But I grew up in Washington. It's much
Yeah.
much cooler there.
Much cooler there, yeah.
I think it wasn't necessarily the gel that did this, but for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2,
Yes.
my friend got like tickets to the premiere, I think.
Okay.
Got like a ton of tickets and then just like
Handed
sold
them.
some out
Oh, okay.
to other friends of hers. And so every movie premiere, I had a bunch of friends who would love to dress up for the premiere. And that is not me at all.
Yeah.
Chris is in the back going, okay.
For Toy Story 3, I dressed up as Andy. Jeans and a t-shirt.
Nice.
I love that you had to specify that.
Yeah. Not a big dress up in public. Barely a dress up for parties type of person.
I'm not either, and people find that shocking, especially
Yes.
that I do comedy. I'm like, if I'm not getting paid for it, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like it's kind of a shitty move, but at the same time, I'm like, look, for years I've only worn a shirt that says life, and I just like hold a bunch of lemons. Like that's been my like joke Halloween thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But I remember for Harry Potter, I was like, well, you know what? Let's do a character. Let's see if it, gets attention from anybody I would like attention from. And so my friend Nick and he went as Professor Quirrell and
Wow.
I went as Snape.
Nice.
And so I put gel in my hair, but I also had to dye it black.
Okay.
And so at some point the like black started to run out. I think it was after the movie, but
Also a very long movie.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, so I think that might be the only time I've had product like melting or running out of my hair. Yeah.
Sounds uncomfortable.
It was.
Yeah. Especially when you're like just sitting and watching a movie.
Also, no one acknowledged that he was Quirrell and I was Snape. Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
They were just like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Well, no, nobody cared. And part of it, I think, is like the people that do like dressing up for the premiere. They're like going hard.
Yeah, they cosplay.
Yeah.
Cosplayers are insane.
Right.
Like, they're cool, but like it's just like, how did you get all that?
Yeah. I had a cloak and black hair, but that's not the like full costume. You know what I
Did you
mean?
even have a wand?
No.
So you're just a dude in a cape
You know
and
what?
black hair?
I might have had
A stick?
an antenna that was broken off of some like control or whatever.
Oh my god.
And yeah, no, it was off of like a remote control thing. And I had that antenna broken off for like years, like from my childhood.
Okay.
But I always kept that because I was like, oh, it can be a pointer, like whatever. It's got a lot more uses than it did as an antenna. So I might have had that, but that'd be it.
That was it.
Yeah.
When was the last time you dressed up, Evan?
Carly and I went to a music festival in San Pedro that the Growlers put on, which is a
Nice.
local band. And it's like an annual festival that's just like around Halloween time. So it's just a festival full of people dressing up. And I dressed up as Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters.
Oh, cool.
Made a strainer on my head.
Yes.
That's pretty
fun.
cool. Yeah.
But still, yeah, I don't know. I generally feel uncomfortable bringing any sort of attention to myself.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. Have either of you ever had like a specific, have you gone in to get your hair done enough that you've had a person that you trust with your hair, or like a barber or a stylist?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, because I dye my hair blonde and it's expensive. But like a friend recommended it because honestly, it came from like, I did a sketch where I wore a blonde wig and my friend was like, oh, you look really good as a blonde. And I was like, okay. I'm the kind of okay person where I'm like, I'll just do that.
You're the yes man type of.
Yeah, I'm a pleaser.
The Jim Carrey movie's based on you.
Yeah, that's exactly who they wrote it based on me. I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Typical Hollywood. They had to make it a man.
They made it a white man. So I went and got it done, and like in the middle of the because I have naturally the brunette hair, and it's pretty dark. And in the middle of the process, like he even told me like it's gonna look awful, but then I'm gonna like recolor it and whatnot because it's just he's like I'm stripping the color out of your hair.
Right.
And I saw like this like orangey fluff thing. I was just like, I've made a huge mistake, and I just started like freaking out. And like, I was texting my friend. I was like, I don't think I could do this. Like, this is awful. This is going so badly. She's like, it's fine. Just like wait till the end of it. And like, it was a long process. It took like 8 hours the first time I did it.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was, and I didn't expect, like, I at least had the day to do that, but I didn't expect it taking that long. And then by the time that like I like had washed out like the other stuff and like they had cut it, I was like, I trust you with my life now. Absolutely. And they were like, this is the shampoo you have to use. I was like, and they're like, this is the product you have to use. And like ended up costing me like an arm and a leg, and I was like, it doesn't matter, I look great. And yeah, no, I've been going to that guy ever since. He's fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been a long time since I've been to get my hair cut by another person.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that we'll get into the switch of when I just started doing it myself. But
Me too.
I never went to like I shouldn't say never. For what I can be sure of. Once I was in charge, to go back to that, I was in charge, I never went to like a stylist or a barber or whatever. I just went to like, there was this place really close to my house in Arizona called Cost Cutters.
Yes.
So I went there. I would go to Great Clips, things like that, where it was just like, listen, I
Easy
just
peasy.
need, yeah, exactly. I just need a haircut. Nothing special. Just take this and make it shorter. But I always found it awkward because I never knew, like, if I would rather have the small talk or silence. And I mean, I experienced both. And sometimes the small talk is great. Sometimes it's like, what are we doing here? And same with the silence. The silence is like, I don't know that I would necessarily prefer silence because at some point you're like, all right, it's been 20 minutes and we're just sitting here doing nothing.
Yeah, the silence is tough because you don't know if it's
You
if they're
or
being
them.
Right.
if they're being
exactly.
quiet because they're like, hey, we've got a good thing going here. Let's
Yeah.
respect each other and just be quiet. Or it's just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
This fucking piece of shit in this chair.
And maybe it's just me. Have you ever felt like you had to be like on for your
Yes,
hairdresser?
absolutely.
We like you have to be like, I'm ready to do my like Johnny Carson interview.
Yeah, 100%.
Really old reference. So there's one time I went and got my haircut, and this woman had a picture of her baby on the counter, and you know, babies, they don't have hair. So I was like, oh, what a cute little girl. And she's like, it's a boy. And then I got the worst haircut
Oh,
ever.
no.
She literally made me look like a mushroom. It was like long on the inside and then like short bobby on the outside. I was like, what did I do? I'm so sorry. And then I tipped her because I'm a yes man.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I always like, I'd like to know if because you never know, that might have been just like it was going to be a bad haircut no matter what happened.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of
Like-
hairdressers just being like, oh, fuck this person. I'm going to fuck this
Yeah,
shit
I'm
up.
gonna fuck this shit up. Yeah,
Let's see
it
what I
probably
can
had
do.
Nothing to do with it. It's probably she was just a bad hairdresser. Never went to her again. But
I mean, it's like the equivalent of like a waiter spitting in your food.
it really was.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you gonna be rude to me?
And then I tipped that waiter because I was like, I probably deserve this. Oh my god, I did have one hairdresser one time. I loved him; he was fantastic. But then he started. I used to go to this guy a lot because he was a good friend. He started telling me about his new religion.
That he created or just one that he adopted?
That he discovered.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it was a creating thing of his own, but he like discovered the truth. And anytime someone says that, you know, I get a little skeptical, but he was selling it hard and really wanted me to join in. And I was like, now I go to a different hairdresser.
Weird how that works.
Sweet guy, really great hairdresser, but I was just like, I'm so sorry. I gotta step away. It's like when someone's hard selling you something while you're getting another service done.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. You're stuck.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
nothing you could, even if it's a bad haircut, you're not about to get out of that chair
No, you're just gonna be like
halfway through a haircut.
Yeah.
You are stuck.
I will agree with anything until I get out of that chair, and then I'll tip you
Yeah.
Here's $30 extra
dollars. It's all right. I'll go on food stamps. It's fine.
Yeah, I had the most foolish search for a good barber or a quote unquote good barber. Like, oh, these barbers were fine, I'm sure. But like my hair was such a specific thing. So I generally it's funny that I brought up like, oh yeah, you reached that age where you take control of your hair. Like, nah, my mom cut my hair forever.
Still
I would
does.
just I had such long hair for a long time that I lived like an hour and a half away from home. And it's just like, I'll be home to visit like once every couple of months. So I'll just let it grow out until then. And
Do
my
your
mom will cut
laundry
my
and
hair.
get your hair cut.
Exactly. So yeah, it wasn't until I lopped off the long hair that I started. Well, actually, I'll just throw that out there really. Like, that is how I didn't realize my hair was thinning while I had long hair. And then I had it cut off and could just like see how thin my hair was and
Yeah.
just realized like, that's gone.
That's
like
gone,
I will
yeah.
never have long hair again. It was such a sad way to realize I was balding. I mean, maybe better than just like being in denial with the long hair for a long time.
Yeah.
But
And you can tell me to fuck off, but like, like seriously, because like my boyfriend is balding as well, and like he's often thought about like grafting or something like that, and I'm like, it doesn't bother. Like, I find my first crush was Mr. Clean, and I'm like, bald men do it, you know. But like, have you thought about like doing something to like rectify it, or do you want to just go with it? I love that.
I'm just going with it. I mean, I did the bald thing for a while, which was a fun time.
Yeah.
The tough thing with Chris, have you ever gone bald? Like,
Yeah, I
completely
have.
shaved your head?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe
You
we've
were
talked
bald
about this
for
already.
a little bit, Yeah, when we were performing.
Yeah, I probably
regularly.
when we all first met, I think I was bald.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct. Yeah, the tough thing with doing the clean shave bald look is because I've seen both happen, and I lucked out. I've got a great head for being bald.
Yeah.
Not everyone does.
Right.
And
it's
you
true.
don't know the
Yeah.
shape of your skull
Until you do
until
it.
you've committed to,
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend like a few months letting people see my scalp, and some people look fucking strange without hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, fortunately, I thought I looked pretty good bald. That actually reminds me of the first time I was in film school when I shaved my head bald. So it was like, I mean, I was in film school. I was probably like 18 or 19. So that's like right around that. Right, that's right around the age when you do go like, nah, I'm gonna do something crazy with my hair.
Hell yeah.
People are gonna notice.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was just like, went to class the day before, had really long hair, and then when I came back and then had shaved it all off and was completely bald, and everyone was like, whoa, that's crazy, whoa, look at you, bald guy. And that, maybe not those words exactly, but something along the lines.
I would love for it to have been that.
And my friend, I believe it was Alex, pointed it out, like we were leaving, and I had turned around, and he was like, "Ooh, you missed some," and I'm thinking like, "Oh, like I missed like a patch or something." And there was just like some short hair. Like I had, throughout the initial like buzzing around, and then Bic razor to my head, had just missed like 10 full strands of hair all in the same spot. So it looked intentional. It looked like this weird rat tail coming out of like the top back of my head.
It's just like off to the side too.
It was so gross. I was like, fuck, how? I went so many passes. How did I miss this cluster of hair every round?
Yeah.
I've always wondered, like how do you know, like, I mean, apart from like maybe a partner or whatnot, like how do you get that angle on your head?
Well, as someone with no partners, I have a small mirror that I can hold behind, and I can at least check. It's tough to hold it back there and also shave
Because it's the mirror thing, or it's
it's so hard.
Yeah, it's
what angle, like what am I left, am I right, what especially when you're doing double, because you're probably looking at a mirror that's in a mirror.
Yeah,
Looking
exactly.
at a
The
mirror.
reflection, so very difficult. When I had because when I decided to go bald, I had been in LA for like 2 years or so.
Okay.
And so I had done some like on camera stuff, both like of my own creation and otherwise. But I was starting to notice that you could see it on camera that like up top it was very thin. And I was like, we got to just commit to some point. So I remember living in this terrible apartment.
Aw.
And I had talked to one of my roommates the day before, and he was like, yeah, just go for it.
Okay.
And so I remember standing in front of my full length like closet mirror, and I had a big IKEA bag that I just opened up, and I stood inside, and then I just fired up the razor.
You're like standing in a trash
Yeah, to catch all the hair that was gonna fall, because I didn't want to clean it up after.
That makes
And
sense.
so I took it down to about the length that it is now, and then
Okay.
basically like the next day is when I went down to ground zero.
Okay. Did you also stand in a bag for that?
Yeah, probably. My way of kind of determining if I had gotten it all was just kind of the feel test.
Yeah.
And I checked in with the mirror a couple times, but I mean, you never really know.
Fully know.
And then I had just the goatee, and so I had kind of the Walter White look
Nice.
for a while.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then slowly over time, I was like, I couldn't quite figure out if I liked that look or if I wanted bald but with the beard or if I wanted completely clean shaven or what. So one of my New Year's resolutions, I think it was like 2018, one of my coworkers and I were like, let's just, because we were bored, we were like, what's your New Year's resolution? And so one of mine was like, figure out something to do with my face. And so what I eventually decided is what we have now, the short hair that is attached to the beard.
Uh-huh.
But one time I was shaving it down to this level, and I had gone into work, and this was at like 6 a.m. and I was going to be there until like 10:30 p.m.
Oh my God.
And at like 6:30 in the morning, one of my coworkers is like, I think you missed a spot. And he's the type of person who's like, oh, thank God someone has a flaw. 'cause
That I can
point it out. And so now I get to be self-conscious for 16 hours about this patch of hair that's a little bit longer than the rest.
No.
Something that you can't really notice unless you're looking for it.
Unless someone is like,
Yeah.
hey, by the way.
Exactly.
I'm gonna throw out a haircut and tip. I also cut my own hair, and I'm not currently fully bald. So you got the neckline.
The neckline's the hardest part.
The one place where like hair really fucking wants to
Yes.
grow
Yeah.
is the two weird tufts on the
Yes.
side of the back of my neck. They just want to grow their own haircuts.
Yeah.
If you do the cell phone thing, look at, or whatever you're using, a small mirror. I just use my cell phone's camera, looking in the back of a mirror, and take a baseball cap and lay the bill of it facing downwards along the back of your neck. That creates a perfect neckline.
Oh.
So if all you have to do is line it up to where the length you want it, then just hold it there and then take buzzers and just.
Hey, all right. Thank
Killer.
you.
That's actually
It's a
really
good tip. I'm
I'm gonna go do that tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, no, Kate, maybe don't cut your own hair ever again.
I've got an important question for everybody.
Great.
What? Because everyone's got a type of hair. My hair has always been very long ways. I've got very wavy hair. It's kind of light. But what hair did you always wish you had? What type of hair would you just fucking kill to just be like, oh, I wish I could do that with my hair?
I remember I brought in a photo to a hairstylist, and it was of Topher Grace in the film Win a Date with Tad Hamilton.
Yes.
And
oh my God, yes.
it was a pretty basic haircut.
Sure.
That was just kind of like a little bit spiked up.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I know exact because I have oddly seen that movie, which is very out of character for me. But what a movie!
But I can't have that style because he's got the flat hairline and I have the widow's peak, and so it just it doesn't look right.
Right.
And so I kind of had it with the pomade. I would kind of just bring everything
And
up.
you just kind of spike it your own.
Yeah, but it never looked the way I had hoped that it would.
Oh yeah, I have always. I really want some kind of pixie cut, but it just my face is too round for it. And it's not even what's her name from Once Upon a Time round. It's just it won't really work.
Yeah.
Like short is fine on me, but pixie, it's like it gives a totally different message. And like I've always like Natalie Portman, like when she like shaved down for V for Vendetta,
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was the time I was like, you know what, I would want to do bald at least once. Like I would want to try like some kind of super close shave buzz cut or like some G.I. Jane shit, just to
Yeah.
like cool.
Yeah.
I don't think like I felt my head, like I've had shorter cut. I don't know, like I think I gotta like stay with like the mid length to like fairly short. Like it just doesn't really work for me. But I would love for that, like I would love that like cute like pixie look where I'm just like, yeah, and I wear like leather jackets, you know. That whole look, you kind of look cool with your cute haircut.
It's like every woman I've ever known has had that thought of like,
Just
maybe
shave it all.
maybe shave it all. Like, and the thing is, yeah, I mean, it's the same with everybody. Like I was saying earlier, like some people it looks great, some people it doesn't, and like some women can really fucking pull it off.
Yeah.
But again, no way to find
No way to find out
With
until
all
you
this
do
technology we have, there's no. Maybe that's what we need to
know.
invent
You know what?
is a
Yeah.
bald simulator.
Yes.
It's
to
just like a
see.
machine that like
Maps
takes,
your head.
Yeah, maps your scalp and your
Yeah.
skull and your bones, and yeah, you can see what you would look like bald.
Hey, AR people, get on
Yeah.
that.
Nobody at this table.
Sure. There's got to be something where you could like shrink wrap your head or something like that, so you can get a like idea of like what your actual skull looks like.
It seems very possible.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe not that important to people. Maybe it just feels important due to the specific topic of this podcast.
Yeah.
Right,
It feels like the most important thing in the world.
Was there hair that you always wanted?
Yeah.
I mean, I did
Steven
in
Tyler?
general, yeah. In general, it was always just I hated having blonde hair. I always wanted
Really?
like dark hair, just
you-
like
did
a
you ever
dark,
dye
thick
it or
head of hair.
anything?
Never did. No,
Okay.
because same as gel. I've always been me, man.
Yeah, man,
Yes.
you gotta
I've
be
always
you.
been me, for better or worse.
I was gonna say because like there's like dyes and stuff. Like there's like
Yeah.
the spray on stuff. Like Mark and I, my boyfriend Mark and I went as Dumbledore and Grindelwald for
Nice.
Halloween. It's the one time that I was like, I'm down to dress up like this,
Hell
and
yeah.
like I did like a fake mustache and whatnot. And he actually dyed his hair because he's a little bit more gray, and he dyed his hair. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, it just looks weird. Like I was like, I know like you want to like go back to the days where you had like more like pigment in your hair, but I was like, I was like, I want you back to where you are.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
surprising. Like full on dyed hair on a guy. I don't know. That's kind
Yeah.
of it's like it's always
You can usually tell.
that. Yeah, it's like that uncanny valley thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm meeting you for the first time, like every now and then, like someone can just be like, "Oh shit, it looks great with your hair for
Yeah.
some reason," but like. Yeah, there's a lot of bad dye jobs
Yes.
Yeah.
on men.
When did you guys decide you wanted to grow beards?
The day I was born.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Pretty damn quick, like ASAP. I probably was able to start growing a beard at like 14 and
Wow.
have mostly had like I've gone clean shaven for maybe like 6 months at a time. Probably 4 or 5 other times. I had a mustache for a while, like a weirdo. Probably like again 17, 18. Hey, people try weird shit between
Yeah.
the ages of 16 and 19. That's when you try some stuff.
I think that I wanted to do it probably in high school, but I don't think I ever actually did until college. And even then, I think for the most part, I was either clean shaven or I just had the goatee.
Okay.
And then I think it just came out of laziness that the beard arrived. Where I was like, well, if I
Here to
don't shave,
stay.
yeah. Well, because I was never sure if it would grow in fully.
Okay.
And so I don't think I ever really tried.
Yeah.
And then just out of laziness, I was like, well, let's try the beard. And then times where I've been going from beard to clean shaven, I've like just for fun, seen what other things look like. Mustache does not look good. I look like Ned Flanders if he was on like the sex offender list. That's what my mustache looks like.
maybe stop cutting it down to a caterpillar.
Yeah. I mean, but I've
What
gone
about
from
like the Fu Manchu? Like, would you ever do that?
Yeah, I've shaved it down to that, and that doesn't look quite right. And so then I shave it down to the caterpillar, and that doesn't look right. But yeah.
Did you like? I'm sure you've done it, but like, just like when you go completely clean shaven, have you ever done the little Hitler just to see what it looks like?
I think everybody has. But I have a very light mustache, so
It doesn't
like
quite
nothing.
Hitler it up.
No.
I feel like I might have done it once, but it just looked like stuff was coming out of my nose.
Oh.
Like it doesn't look like its own separate thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, done that, and I've definitely, I that's honestly the biggest joy of facial hair is just playing around with it when you on those times when you're like, okay, I'm gonna go clean shaven. You do the John Waters pencil mustache,
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Done a James Hetfield like handlebar into a goatee. That's a good time.
Yeah, just the
Do the
triangle
mutton
soul
chops.
patch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mutton chops for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Makes me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
A kid with a beard.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Well, I think we've reached the end of our conversation about hair.
Yeah, we got to figure out what we've learned.
What have we learned?
I mean, the baseball cap thing is
That's a good tip.
that's a good tip.
Hey, throwing it out there. Every now and then I come to the table with good tips. It's happened twice, I think.
Yeah. And I think we all are people who are more comfort over style, but there's a level of like respect and maybe a touch of envy of the people who can like really pull off a styled look.
Right. Well, I think also, I learned just like how, like, even if you don't see it up front, but like how like meaningful compliments are to everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, and not judging people by their style or look, but just being like, hey, you're wonderful people as you are, and y'all's beards are freaking knocking. Just slapping those beards.
Here come the compliment tears again.
Here we go. Love both of your beards. Y'all are really good podcasters.
Oh my God.
All right, so you're going to come back at the beginning of every episode and at the
Yes,
end.
at the
Goodness.
end.
But I think it means I mean that's what I've like learned from like all the different stories that we've been talking about today. It's just like even when you don't realize, when you're just like, oh, that looks nice on you, like how much that can change somebody's day.
Yeah.
On a like an inverted way, I was reading something recently where someone was like an article talking about just kind of being a more positive person, and they were saying to try to compliment people behind their backs. And see how that, because that's a thing like nobody does. You only talk shit about people behind their backs.
Right.
That's why you're talking behind their backs.
Yeah.
But just to like go to someone else, like Chris isn't here, I was like, man, Chris is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He is here, so that
I
didn't
like
work.
that. Like, I wrote a sketch at one point where it was like complimentary behind your back or something like that. But like, I think that should be more of a thing. Like, talk about people behind their back positively. Like, have you seen this person? They're fucking awesome.
This is the most positively an episode has ever ended.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys just learn like dark secrets or something?
Usually, yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, I don't know that we learned much else, but I do think I don't know that confidence comes into this one.
No, I mean maybe in terms of like the people that
Doing
get
the style?
extra style,
That takes 80%
that takes confidence because you're looking for. I mean, maybe you're not looking for attention, but you don't mind if it comes your way.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think there's a confidence too in just like being okay with like who you are and like the okay, ness of it. Like it's not necessarily that like you're downgrading. It's just like I am who I am, and like if you want to change me, like you can go ahead and try. But like
Yeah.
this is kind of how I dress and how I look, and thank you next.
I guess we'll move into plugs then.
Plug it up.
Evan, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, let's make sure to plug our little. That's also this is
Refrigerators.
Let's plug our refrigerators and suck in that electric fire smell.
Yeah.
No, this is peeking behind the curtain and
Uh-oh.
showing people how many episodes we recorded before we started releasing. This is the first episode we've recorded since we've released the podcast.
Yeah, episode number 12,
Very
baby.
Very exciting. Hey, people have said nice things about it. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Follow that old Instagram at HowDoWeHuman. Some people have even thrown topic ideas at us.
All right.
By some people, I mean my brother-in-law.
Right before we started
Yeah.
recording, I got one suggested as well.
Yeah, hit us up with those suggestions.
The world is full of one-word suggestions.
But yeah, other than that, I will. I'm starting up a thing. I'll set up your tents.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a tent pitcher?
Yeah, pinch those tents.
gotta pinch
them
those
as well.
tents.
Are you gonna pinch the tents as well?
I'll pinch the tents once they're up.
Yeah, to be assured of the quality.
Well, that's the stamp of approval.
Oh, yeah. Like, good one.
That's how you know it's been put up by me.
Evan
A
Cox.
little dimple in the top.
I love it.
But yeah, you end up in the woods. You don't know what you're doing. And if you happen to be trying to put up a tent within like 5 miles of where I live, call me.
Yeah.
I'll put up your tent.
Heck yeah.
You can also access this through my website, illputupyourtents.com. You will notice it is a redirect to mattressman_.com. Because I can't get that off my hands, but illputupyourtents.com was an inexpensive domain.
Great.
So I'm not making money yet, but
Hoping
hey,
to.
I'll put up your tents.
Killer.
Fantastic.
Chris, what do you got going on?
This isn't so much a business or like a show or anything like that I've plugged in the past, but I just turned in an application to the LAPD.
Oh.
I feel like we don't have as many like wacky cops as we used to.
That's true.
And
yeah.
so that's kind of what I'm going for,
Okay.
sort of the untapped market of like just the goofy cops, the cops that you're like, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing more of that guy.
Okay.
Even though he's, an officer of the law,
Right.
he's not one of those no nonsense cops. He's
He's a
kind
lot
of
of nonsense.
he's a lot of a nonsense cop. That's what I want. That's what I think policing needs. And so just kind of,
make policing
tweet
great.
out at the LAPD, send them a lot of messages that
Sure.
say, hey, we need more wacky cops.
Okay.
And hopefully that'll let them choose me.
Do you have a
I
good
just-
hashtag so that people can keep
Hashtag
that all
more wacky
together?
cops.
Hashtag we need more wacky cops.
Hashtag we need more wacky cops. Okay.
Oh, just a quick question on that one.
Yeah.
When a LA riot, as they usually do,
Sure.
when that breaks out, how would you wacky that situation up?
I wouldn't be there.
Okay, wacky. I love it. I love it.
No, I'm more of like the like, oh, I'll take the reports. That kind of wackiness where I can play around a little bit. I can investigate certain smaller crimes. Those heavier ones, I can accompany the serious cops to those and just kind of keep the mood light.
Are you gonna wear the banana shirt?
Yeah, I'll wear the banana shirt. I'll wear the badge over it.
Got it.
I have a lot of wacky wardrobe choices that I can wear, so it's not like I'm wearing the same shirt every day on the job.
Got it.
I have a shirt with tacos on it. I have a shirt with pretzels on it. I have a shirt with pineapples on it. I have a blazer that is toucans wearing Santa Claus hats.
Wow.
I feel like you're gonna graduate to detective at any second.
That's
with
the
those
plan.
shirts.
Yeah, I mean, I really I do understand that I have to get in at the like ground level,
course.
and kind
Beat
of
cop
work.
it,
Yeah, exactly. Work my way up. But I do feel like the wackiness of both my personality and my wardrobe are going to skyrocket me to detective in no time.
Okay.
And I would say if you get called to one of these serious crimes, slip on a banana peel on your way there.
Yeah.
Ooh, good call.
And
Yeah.
Thank you.
then, Yeah.
You're full of good tips today.
Yeah. And if you need a tent pinched, you know who to call.
Katie, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
You could find me in most places. Period. Full stop.
Omnipresent.
I'm omnipresent. I am among you. I usually go by the name Elsaessy Pants. ELSASSY Pants. No Z usually. I'm on all the grams and the Twitters and all that thing. I might be having something come out soon, but absolutely no idea if that's actually going to go through.
Keep an eye out for that.
Keep an eye out for things, my
Okay.
omnipresence. But yeah, as long as we're, talking about like businesses that we're also looking into, I have a side business that I'd really love to get out there where I will go to your restaurant and I will try your pizza for free.
Okay.
So even if you don't sell pizza, I will come there and I will eat a slice of, like, if you just like make it like on a like toast or something like that, like a kind of like a faux pizza, anything pizza related, I will come and try it for free. Like I won't pay you any money. I won't tip you. I might tip you. So if you know any like businesses or restaurants or just households that would like to have their pizza tested, I will go and I will eat it for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about, I feel like most pizza places I come across have customers and they're already trying the pizza.
Sure. Yeah, but they're not going to give you a solid review on like a Yelp or something like that, or
Okay.
maybe like even on your Instagram page. I will do that. You don't have to pay me. You just have to give me the pizza. This is a side hustle, so like, I mean, if you'd like to pay and tip me, I would absolutely take bribery money for, better reviews. But I am an honest person, so
Can I be honest?
yeah, go ahead.
I think you're just trying to get some free pizza.
Hey, I think you're just trying to pinch some tents. So, listen,
Gotcha.
we all got our goals, sir.
I'm running a reputable business.
All right, yeah, you do have a website. I will. But if you like,
How do they contact you?
usually on my Instagram or my Twitter, you can just reach out to any Elsaessy Pants that you might find on the internet.
If you're in need of a domain.
Yeah.
Well, I do have katieelsaesser.com. You can always, I would actually really love to be sent a message that's not from a Russian bot through my website.
That's hard to find.
It really, so yeah, if you really want to know how that's actually spelled, it's ELSAESSER, Katie in front of it.
Evan for weeks has been trying to get rid of the domain mattressman _ spelled out and then followed by an _.com. For weeks he's been trying to get rid of it. So if you need a website domain,
Got it.
that is
It's
available.
not cheap.
Okay, so mattressman __.com.
Yeah.
This is it?
That's correct.
So this podcast is brought to you by mattressman __.com.
In a roundabout way, yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta become that and Petsy.cc.
Right.
Wait, what is it?
Petsy.cc.
Yeah, it's
That's a long story.
that is
We'll tell you.
a real thing.
All right, yeah, I believe it.
I think we've done what we came here to do.
That's right. Thanks for coming, Katie.
Thank
you
you
guys for
so
having
much,
me.
Katie. Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.